What's up guys, Turner here, and today I have a video and I'm going to be showing you how you how you install and set up HubBasics for Spigot 1.8. First off, I just want to say thank you for 479 subscribers. Sadly I didn't get to make a New Year's resolution video, even though most people who do that don't follow what they say in it. But anyway, I guess I'm going to say this really quick. This is what my New Year's resolution is. First of all, maybe I can pronounce that right, that might help. But just to get more videos out and to continue to learn Java, I guess. Because that's pretty much all you need to know. I'm not going to go into really any more detail with it because I don't need it. Or I don't need to, and nobody's going to listen anyway. But anyway, I'm going to be uploading more. I'm going to try to do at least 2 videos a week. I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but I want to push for more, but I just don't know if I'm going to be able to do it. So I'm going to try 2 videos a week, and I eventually want to put 1 video out every other day. And then hopefully maybe in the future, a video a day. But as far as that said, we'll get on to the plugin. So HubBasics, if you don't know what it is, it's a plugin that pretty much, if you don't have any custom coders, it's a good plugin just to have for your server. It has a bunch of features that basic hub servers you should have, and then it also has it has a to-do list that looks like he has a dev this has grown a lot, and it looks like it looks really promising. I guess is what I'm trying to say. So as you see, here's his to-do, and some of them are already crossed out as he did it. So we're gonna get right into it. So I'm not going to show you how to use permissions. I have a video on Group Manager. I'll leave a link in the description, and I'm going to be doing a video on PEX soon and another video on Group Manager, kind of to redo them both. But those are going to be in the future. But here's all the permissions if you want, right here. So if you need to look for a permission for anything, they're right there. Some of the commands that you can use are right here. I'll go over them in game, of course. And then here are some of the features. So I'll just say some of them really quick. You can have custom join, leave messages, double jump with configuration, a stacker minigame, anti-op, keep food, keep health, bungee cord support. It's basic for now, as he says. Launch pads, basic info signs, anti-rain, disable rain, custom message of the days, etc., etc., etc. So first off, let's start by, you're going to want to download it right here. And this is also for Spigot 1.8. I'm pretty sure I said that earlier. Just in case I didn't, you need Spigot 1.8 to run it. And if you don't know how to do that, I'll leave a link in the description for a video to show you how you start your own Spigot 1.8 server. So anyway, you're going to also need BarApp, which you're not going to need, but if you want to use the boss API, the boss bar as like kind of a auto message system, I guess you'd call it, you can just do that right here and hit download. And you'll need this plugin if you want to use it at all. So I would suggest downloading it because it is a kind of a neat feature to have on your server. So anyway, once you have the plugins downloaded, you're going to want to put them in your plugins folder for your server, or upload them to your plugins folder in your FTP if you have a server posted by or purchased by like a server host. So anyway, you start the server and you wait till it says the config's ready. Yada yada yada. Now you don't have to do it in this way, but I'm gonna start it. As you see, I've already kind of messed with it a little bit. Okay, so I'm gonna set actually. I'm gonna set my hub to be, or not my hub, my spawn point to be up here really quickly. And you don't have to do this, but I'm just gonna do it now for just kind of reference. So /set hub, and that will set you your hub. So if you do like /hub or lobby, you'll be taken to this point. So anyway, once you're done with that, let's minimize that and let's go back to the server. You can type /stop, and that will stop your server. If you you should know. I don't know why you wouldn't know that. But then you're going to want to go to your HubBasics folder, and you're going to open up your config. I'll show you how you do kind of, I guess, all of them. Okay, so first off, we'll start with we'll just start with the config. Let me close this. Let me just close all these. I don't know if it opened an old one. I definitely don't want to edit an old one. So I'll just reopen that. I'm using Notepad++. I would recommend that you download it if you do anything with like YAML or I don't know. It has a whole bunch of different languages you can select. and it's just really useful if you do a lot of like configuration, I guess. I don't know. It's a nice little program to have. But anyway, let's just get right into it. So the first thing you see is join events, and this is when like a player joins a server, what they do. So if you want to disable this, you just leave this as false, or you leave it, you put it to true if you want to disable this. Sorry. Now, if you want silent op join, that means that anybody who's op, it will not display this message for when they join the server. If it's set to false like it is now, it will display it for all ops too. So every player. I'm leaving it to false because it doesn't really affect me. Now, this is the message that it will display. So let's just name it. I don't know. We'll do a generic. We'll do server. It'll do %p for player has joined the server. We'll make it like a default command. So we'll do and 5, I think, and f, and 5 again. And if you don't know what and 5 and f and what those mean, or what I put those for, is those are color codes for Minecraft. I'll leave a link in the description to where if you don't know them, you can, it's a whole like spreadsheet and you can look at them and see them all. But that's just what those are if you were curious. If you want to have the player at the hub when they log on, usually for hub servers you have that, just set that to true. If not, set that to false. The boss bar on join, if you're using the boss bar announcer, I would set that to true, because it'll just show the boss bar at the top when you join. Otherwise, you can have that to false. It doesn't really make a difference or make too big a difference. Next, we're going to get into the leave events, and this is just like when they leave a server, so I'll just copy and paste this. And I'll paste it down here because this is the message it has. If you want to have the silent op leave, again, it's the same thing up here as a join. So it'll just say if an op left this, if you have this true, if you have silent op leave to true, then it won't display this message for ops when they leave. If it's false, it will display the message. So if you have a plugin that already modifies join and leave events, you can just set these to false, or set these to true. Sorry guys. You can set these to true, and that will disable it. So let's just name this have left the server. Okay, so voidfall, what voidfall does is, if you have it enabled, which it is by default, it's if you fall in the void, you'll be teleported back to spawn. So I guess I'm just gonna use this generic message, but so we'll just do that, and then if you want to disable it, you can. It doesn't cause any fall damage. So, I personally, I would use it, but if you don't want to use it, you don't have to. I'm just going to say server, the player name, and then and 5 has been teleported to spawn. I don't know. I think it's the same message they had. So next is the message of the day system. Now, if you have a plugin that I've said this a lot in this tutorial already, but if you have a plugin that already modifies the message of the day, you can just set this to false, and it will make it so it doesn't use this. You can also set more message of the days. So if you want to set more, you want to enable those. You want to put true here, and then you want to just enter down a line, and then do this. Whoops, sorry. Do that, and then put this is the second message of the day. And then it also supports all the color codes. So if I want to do like and F or something, that would be white. But anyway, it supports that as well. And I'm not sure if you can use the player option in here. I'm not positive. You might. I'm not sure. Okay, so chat announcer is pretty much just like an announce plugin. It just will announce this to the chat. I'll make it every 5 seconds just so you can see it, and then I'll just make I'll just name this chat announce, so you can see what it is. Announcer 1. It'll just display this message in chat. So let's just do and that. It'll do and we'll have it alternate colors. And then if you have it per world, so if you only want to display in certain worlds, you can just simply put your world here. So let's say your first world is world, and then you have another world that you want displaying called creative. You just put creative like that. And that would put it per worlds, but you'd also have to select this to true right here. That's only if you wanted to display in those worlds. The time is in seconds, so that's in 5 seconds. That's just so we can see it. Now, the boss announcer is what you had to have the BarApp plugin for, is that will show you sorry, that will show like at the top of the screen. If you have it, it will show these announcements. So I'm just gonna name it, I guess we'll just do boss announcer and boss announcer too, just so you can see. But you'd put more messages. If you wanted more messages, you would just enter down and put that and say third boss announcer message. I don't know. Again, I'll just put 5 seconds so you can see it. And then if you want per worlds, again, you just put true and then list all the worlds you want here. So if you have another world, just enter down another world. Okay. So next is the action announcer. Now this is something kind of new, which a lot of plugins don't have. But what the action announcer is in this plugin is, you know, when you open, it's actually will be easier to explain if I, actually I'm not going to do that now, but like when you have a pickaxe and you scroll to it in your inventory, above the hot bar, or the like the little inventory bar you get above, I think it's called the hot bar. Above that, it shows like iron pickaxe, or it shows the item name. That's pretty much what this is. So we'll name this like, I don't even know if I hope we can use F or NK. We'll just do that. I don't even know. I don't remember if you have to do the color code or the other thing first, but we'll just do that and hopefully it'll work. And then this one will be action announcer, and we'll make this in 4 again, just so we can see it easier. Also, if you want to add more again, you just enter down and go over, and this is your third message. And if you want a 4th message, you do the same thing, and so on. And that's every 3 seconds. And then if you want to do it per world again, it's just the same as up here. Okay, so next is fake plugins. If you want to enable this, just keep it true. If you want to disable it, you just put false here. And pretty much what that will do is, if anybody, like, if somebody tries to do /plugins, it will display this message instead. So right now it will display plugins. You cannot see the plugins, so I'll just change it to like, and for no plugins for you. And I'll do a little winky face maybe, or a little open face, I guess. Now, this is the bunching code support. It's basic, as you said. But if you want to do it, you just enable it true, and then you'd put your default Bungie server that you have in your config, in your Bungie code config. You'd put it here, and that would use that, if that makes sense to you. The magic clock. This is the feature that I don't know what it does. I can only assume it will toggle players. I haven't been able to test this with more than one player, so I'm not really sure what it does. But if you want to enable it, you can put true here. The slot is the inventory slot that will appear in your Minecraft like inventory, and then you can change the name of it, the lore. I'll just enable it for you guys to see, so you can see what all this is. But the lore is like below the item, and if you want to show the message, these are the messages. And if you want to allow move, that's like moving it around in their inventory. Usually it's false, and if you want them to be able to drop it, which you shouldn't, if it's hub, just leave these alone, because you don't usually want your players to do this. The next one is title system. God. And if you enable this, I think this is the one other thing I didn't know. There's a few things in this I didn't really know because I don't think it was covered in the documentation. But the title system is, I don't know, we'll just do test title system, and we'll see what that says, because I'm not really sure where that's located or what that's displaying, to be honest with you guys. The book system is the next thing that I don't really know. I don't know how. I couldn't find documentation on how to like put it, so I don't know where it says invalid. When I've tried it before and it says invalid book, so I'm not really sure how I get it to work. So I'm sorry guys, I don't know how to use that feature. But if I figure it out, I'll hopefully put an annotation on the screen that will tell you how to use it. Some other stuff that they have is double jump if you want to enable it. So you just double tap the spacebar and it will shoot you in the air. Just keep that to true if you want it to. If not, put it to false. The prefix, I think this is just the generic prefix for the plugin, so I'll just change it to, I guess, HB maybe. I don't know. The hat set, these are if you do /hat, and then you can give yourself a hat. You could change the messages that display when you do that. So enjoy your new, I guess, awesome hat. I'll just do it so you can see it. Awesome hat. If you want them to be able to move their hat You can keep that true or false. I usually have it false because otherwise it can lead to like duplication and stuff. If you don't have permission for the hat, you'll see this message. So it says you do not have permission for this hat. The jump pad block. So if you have a block that you want, like when they walk over it, it will jump boost them. So like it will shoot them in the air a bit. You can change that here, and as you see, it's a redstone block right now. If you want them to keep their food and keep their health, leave these to true. Otherwise, it doesn't really matter. Just if you want them like in a hub server, you usually want that. So just keep them to true. Otherwise, they're gonna lose health and food when they fall and stuff. If you want the little stack room minigame to be enabled, keep this to true. That's like where you go on Mineplex and you can sit on people's heads and they can like stack you up and stuff like that. Joint items are these items right here. Now, I'm going to set this to true, and I'll show you how to do it in a minute. But then what you're going to want to do is, actually, I'm not going to show you how to do this right now. I'll finish the config, and then we'll go to this. But, okay, so I set joint items to true, and then clear inventory, false. That'll just clear their inventory, I believe. Let me double check to make sure if let's see if it's clear inventory. I don't know, that's not in the documentation or in the GitHub on his GitHub. So I don't know what that does. I assume just clear the inventory of all the items that they don't have. No drops. If you have this to true, which it is by default, they can't drop anything. And then no death drops means when they die, they're not going to drop anything. And if you want to allow item move, so if you want them to be able to move items around in their inventory, keep this to true. I would keep it to false. Most servers do. I'm going to change it to true just so if I need to test something or move something around, I can. I would personally keep that to false though, if this was going on like a live server. And then if you want anti-op enabled. So what that is it will pretty much de-op everybody every 15 seconds. So if anybody's opt, it will de-op like everybody on the server every 15 seconds. So if you want to keep that to true, you can, or if you want to put it to true, that will activate it. If you have it on false, it will keep it off. So the worlds, this is the worlds that it will load in, or that it will work in. So my default world is world, and that's the world I want it to work in. So right there, so that's where you would put it. And then you just Control S, save. And I also like to put it in a parser. I'll leave a link in the description. Pretty much you just paste it in here. And then you can see that I actually have an error. So I know exactly, I think, what that means. So let's go up here to messages. Let's just try to get rid of some of those. Scanning anchor, Unicode string. I'll be right back, guys. So I'm back. So that's what that's a good thing. That's what a parser is for. So that will pretty much show you what your error was. So my error actually was under magic clock. Actually, no, sorry, under title system, where I changed the title system to test title system. I accidentally forgot to add one of those, that character, to the end of it. So if I go back here and I delete that right there, you can see that it gave me this error. So yeah, so you just want to look and then put that back, it'll work. So if it shows like this, that's working perfectly fine. So now that's in here. Now I can save it and make sure it's the same one. Yep. Now we'll go to the items.yml that is right here. And I'm not going to do too much of it, but pretty much these are just kind of items you can do. So we'll do the first one. So we'll just do the first item is enabled. So just keep that to true. If you want it to be like a player skull or just like a skull, I'll put that to true. On the material, this will be paper. The name, it will say this is paper. We'll just name it to we'll just say player message. lore. Actually, we'll do hub. And then lore. This, let's say this will teleport you to the hub. And then you do the slot. So the first slot is 0, even though that's the first slot in your inventory. Just, I know it's kind of confusing. Just, and the last slot is, okay, never mind. First slot is 0. Just, it goes 0 through 8, I think, because the 9th slot is 8. Just bear with me. Now the command is is what will run when you with this item. So if I control S, and I'll just save that. Storage is nothing. That's just what like the hub is, like the when you do /hub, that's just the coordinate for it. So if you went through that whole config and you made it through the parser without any errors, the next thing you're gonna want to do is start your server. And we'll let this load. No, there's no errors. Okay, good. Yes, there is. Okay, let's close that. Yes, yes, yes. Chat announcer. So I must have. Okay, I just did this. Okay, so I guess I must accidentally, when I was fixing it or trying to fix my error, I must have accidentally got rid of the chat announcer. So I'll just name message 1 and then chat announcer message 2. Okay, so sorry guys. So I'll save that again. God, it's been a long day. So now we're gonna start the server back up again. And hopefully we don't get any errors this time. Okay, so no errors, so that's fixed. So as you see, there's our first message that was displayed. So now what we're going to do is we're going to connect to the server. And there's a whole bunch of errors. Okay, that doesn't look like... Okay, this is something... Okay, that looks like something, an error with the plugin. It could be just because my Spigot version, but that doesn't look like it's affecting anything too bad, so that's good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch to my game capture, and we'll make this full screen. So now some of the features that I'll just show you that we did. So this is the chat announcer message 2, and then this is the first message 1. What else did we do? Oh, this was the hub. This will teleport us back to the hub. That little item paper we did, and it's an inventory slot 0. This will teleport you to the hub. That's just a dandelion, you know. Yep. The magic clock, like I said, this is what we enabled, but I wasn't really sure what it did, and I'm still unsure of what it does precisely. But you can see it's enabling, disabling. Not really sure what it does. Now these are the jump pads that we enabled, and you can change your block to whatever you want. So like if you want like grass, which I don't know why you'd want grass, but I don't know what I tried to say there. I don't know why you'd want grass, but if you want grass, that's what you would have. Now actually let me I'm going to enable the boss. Some of these I forgot to enable the announcers, which I'm retarded. I forgot to enable the announcers, so let me just enable some of these really quick. So I do / I think it's HB reload. There we go. Now hopefully, okay. Now you see the boss announcers working, and there's the dragon over there. Usually it spawns the dragon way down there, but I don't know. So I guess the dragon's over there right now. But yeah, so some of the commands you can do are /hub, and that will teleport you to your the spot in the world that you wanted to, or that you had it stuck to. What's that say? Magic clock lore. Okay, so as you see the lore on that is, this will teleport you to the hub. And then you can do /lobby. That will also teleport you to the place in the hub, in the world where you type /sethub. So if I type it over here, and I do /hub, it will teleport me right there. Some other things you can do are, which I already showed you, but if you do /pl, it will show the message that you made. It won't show it for me since I'm opt. And holy cannoli. Right now I'm getting a whole bunch of errors in my configuration, and I do not know why. Let me disable... Let's see, give me 1 second, guys. You guys can't see, but my it's going crazy. Next size 1. Okay, so it's something to do with the title menu, because obviously that's not showing up. So hopefully with you guys it'll work fine. I don't know what's the matter with mine. Maybe my download is a bit corrupt. I don't know. But anyway, it worked perfectly fine for me when I was messing with it earlier. So I don't know why it keeps teleporting the dragon in weird places. But anyway, guys, hopefully you guys won't get that. Oh shit! Hopefully you guys won't get that. If you do, just message me, send me your config, and I'll try to look through it. But anyway, it should be working fine. You shouldn't get these errors. But there's also some other commands you can do. So I'm opt. I'm not gonna de-opt myself, but if you aren't opt, then you'll have that. It'll show you that message reset. So you can type /UUID and you can type the name, and you'll grab the UUID of a player, and then you can, you get his UUID if you need it for something. Let's see. Oh, I didn't show you the hat. So if you do /hat, you can set yourself a hat. So I'll just show you. This is what it will say if you don't type anything. So just do /hat, and we'll do 1, which will give me stone, and then the metadata after a space. So it will give me like one of the granite hat now. But if I wanted like lapis, I could do /hat 22, and they give me a lapis block hat. Now if I'm in creative, that's that hat. Now also, as you see, these are the jump pads, which I think I already went over. I'm not really sure. I think I did. But yeah, guys, I think that's it. It's been a long time. But yeah, anyway, guys, I want to thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya.